Okay, so let's now add windows. So we need 3 windows. So we'll have a set here, here, and here. Okay, so let's look at the requirement for windows. Says here it must be placed a minimum of 100 millimeters away from adjacent wall and should be centered on the wall. And this is how it's going to look like, right? So again, 100 millimeters away from adjacent walls. That's the minimum. You can go beyond that. And likewise, the glass or window itself doesn't require any length or could be of any length. Okay, so let's do that here. Let's just say that we're going to create a window here. So we'll say line. Okay, I'm just going to create a line here and copy that line, CP, copy this line from intersection to intersection. Okay, and then maybe place one here. I might do that later. Okay, space bar to end the line command process. So this is where I want to place my window. Okay, and then it says here that we have to have some nice frame. The distance of the frame is similar to the door jamb. So this is 50 by 100. So we're going to use the same dimension. In fact, we can actually uh, use this, right? So copy this from midpoint, right, to midpoint. There you go. Nice. And then space bar to end. And I'm just going to mirror that MI. So mirror this. Okay. And this will be my mirror line. Okay. And do I want to erase the source object? No, I want to keep this time. Okay, there you go. And if I want to place one in the middle, I'm just going to copy this. And this time I want it to be at the middle of this line and place it here. Now, see, I'm placing it perpendicular. Remember, I placed perpendicular as an option for my object snap. So perpendicular is nice, okay? But for this line, I need it to be closed. So I'm going to close that, okay? I don't need this line anymore. So I'm going to delete that. And next, I'm going to add some lines from endpoint to endpoint, okay? And then I'm just going to copy that line from endpoint to midpoint to endpoint, okay? And likewise, I can copy it here. So endpoint to midpoint to endpoint, since they are of the same distance. Next, I'm going to trim, TR, space bar. I'm going to trim this and that, this and that. Okay, nice. So having done that, now I can, right? I can actually erase this and then just copy this over there. See what happens. I'm going to erase this. I don't need those. And this time I'm just going to say copy all of this, right? Including the wall. And then copy it from this. Oops, no, I think I should say from this point, okay, and place it. I didn't delete that line, so place it there. So I replace that wall with a wall with a window, okay, so it's not difficult, okay. But let's do that again. Let's try doing another one right here, okay. So line. This time I'm going to place one line here. Okay, I'll start the window there and make it as long as this much. Okay, so I'm going to copy, right? Copy this from here to there. So that's the extent of the window. But I want to place more mullion. So I'm going to place a mullion here, here. I don't really need this line, but I'm just showing you visually the location. So that's where my mullions will be. Okay, now I do have this. This is nice. It's properly oriented. So I can say copy. I'm just going to copy this space bar from midpoint or intersection to midpoint. Okay, one. And then space bar to end. I'm going to copy this one. So instead of mirroring, I'm just going to copy this from intersection or midpoint to midpoint. Okay, there you go. Next, I'm just going to copy this from midpoint to perpendicular. Okay, and I could copy it again and again, but I'd rather close this first, create a line, and then copy this instead. Okay, so I'm going to copy this from midpoint to perpendicular to perpendicular. Okay, space bar to end the copy command. Now I'm going to add a line from here to there. Okay, and then copy this space bar. CP is the shortcut for copy. Copy that from endpoint to midpoint to endpoint. Okay, and then I'm going to copy all three lines from endpoint to perpendicular to, oops, looks like that is longer, right? So that's okay. Let me copy this here. I think this one is of the same distance. Okay, to endpoint. And then for this one, I'm going to trim TR space bar, hold down the shift key, and I'm going to, right, create a line, and it will all lines that will pass by that red line, dash line, will be extended. Okay, so this one is a little bit longer than this, so that's okay for now. And then I'm going to now hit space bar to end the process, and then copy. I'm now going to copy these extended lines from endpoint to endpoint. Okay, now notice that I am quite careful not to duplicate lines, not to make them overlap, right? All lines are at the right endpoint, so that's very important. Okay, next I'm going to trim TR space bar. I'm going to trim, what do I trim? Nothing really. Oh, this one here, this line. I want to trim this, 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 and that, so that this separates this line from that line instead of a continuous line. And then I'm just going to erase, right? So I'm just going to erase all these lines right here and that line as well. There you go. So that completes the addition of windows. So I have 3 windows as required.